All right, so now let's take a look at example number 1 on page 466. So remember, if they want to give you the value of x, so for example, if x is given to you, it will show as inside where x normally sits in f of x, okay? And in all these examples, you'll notice that they are actually giving you the values of x in here, okay? Because they're all inside the bracket. So for all these questions, we know they're telling us, for every single one of them, they're telling us what the x value is. So for A, x is 3. For B, x is 1. For C, x is -2. For G, or D, the x is -2. Here we're given two different ones. For this one, x is 0. And again, for this one, it also happens x is 0. So what do they want us to do here? They're telling you that x is 3. Find out what f of x, the function, will be at with that value of x. Or in other words, they're telling you what x is, and remember what f of x represents? It represents y. So in every question, they want you to input that value of x and figure out the value of y. Now you may ask, why f of x and g of x? Because they're giving you two different functions, so they just want to differentiate which one you want to use. So it's okay, they don't always have to use the alphabet f. They can use f of x, g of x, h of x, any, so that if they have different numbers of functions, they can use different alphabets for it. But the idea is the same, they just represent that it's a function of x. So for the first one, it's telling you x is 3 for f of x. So you're going to first write down that function f of x so that we have the correct one. And it's telling you when x is 3. So that means wherever there is x, put a 3 in there. And my suggestion always is that when you substitute, you use brackets. Okay? I've said that in class as well. So you want to use brackets whenever substituting a value. So here, when you do this, it becomes 9 plus 5, and then 9 plus 5 is 14. So the function at 3 is 14, which really just means when x is 3, y is 14. So you can think about it that way. Okay. Part B wants us to use the function g of x. So we will write g of x is 4 minus x. And now they want us to find the value of it when x is 1. So wherever there is x, I will put a 1 there. And that just becomes 3. So the function g of 1 is 3. So what does that mean? When x is 1, y is 3. Okay, you don't need to write this last part. I'm just doing that for explanation. So again, part C, what do we do there now? We do the same thing, but right now we're going to use the function f of x. And then we want to find out f at -2. So really important, you put brackets and you put -2 inside there. I've seen a lot of students make a mistake when they try to enter this in the calculator. So if you put it like this in the calculator, your answer will come out to be -4, because the calculator is only doing a square on the 2. Okay, so don't write it as just -2 squared. The calculator will not think that you're asking it to square the negative. If you want the -2 squared, it should be included inside the bracket so that the calculator knows you're going -2 times -2, and it will give you the answer 4. So it makes a difference whether you use the brackets or not. So my golden rule of always using brackets will save you from that mistake. So your answer here will come out to be 4 plus 5 is 9. So the function when x is -2 is equal to 9. Okay. Going on to, again, g of x. So g of x here is 4 minus 1. And this time we're looking for x to be -2. So it will be 4 minus, again, bracket -2. And that will make this into 6. So the g function at 2, or g of -2, is 6. What do you do when you have something like e? What you want to do there is you separately find out what f of 0 is, and you find out what g of 0 is, and then bring those values down here again. So in the function of f of 0, the function is x squared plus 5. So for x, you're putting a 0. So f of 0 is actually just 5. So you would say this entire thing, so I'm just going to erase this part here. You're going to say that this entire thing is 5. And then minus, we're going to find what g of 0 is. So we're going to input in its place a 0, and then that also comes out to be g of 0 is 4. So this value here is 4. So 5 minus 4 equals 1. So this is not a function. We took two functions together and we figured out what its answer will end up being.